I need a haircut, yo. I need to cut my hair. The beginning of this year, I told myself that I will not have this kind of hair. You know, I wanted to keep it short the whole year, just going on forward. But it's shaking. But that's besides the point. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about cameras, and in specific, this camera right here, the Canon EOS 77D. So yeah, man, let's get talking about it, man. Yeah, the EOS 77D, bro. Like, I love this camera. It was my second camera that I got. You know, I started shooting with this camera. I started shooting photos with this camera, videos with this camera. I shot my first wedding with this camera. So yeah, man, it was one of my first cameras that I got, and I really like this camera for two reasons. Reason number one, the weight. You know, it's very light. You know, fits my camera bag nicely. It's not too heavy. Number two, actually there's three reasons. Number two, I can shoot 60 frames per second. Yeah, it's good for music videos when I'm doing slow motion or B-roll. You know. And number three, the quality that you get out of this camera is amazing. Now let's talk about specs, yo. The specs of this camera, right? Pixel wise, it shoots 21 megapixels for photo. I feel like that's a good pixel count, you know, if you're trying to do photos for Instagram, trying to shoot family shoots. Like, most of the time, the photos that you are shooting either way are going on social media, right? So this is perfect, you know. It's not big enough for you to get your photos printed out and enlarged, because 21 megapixels won't do that for you. But it's good enough. It's perfect, you know. In terms of video, it shoots 1080p, 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and 60. Unfortunately, it doesn't have, you know, 120 frames per second and all that. It doesn't have that luxury, but you can do fine with just 24, 30, and 60. So in terms of video, it's a good video camera. You know, like I said, I shot a wedding with this. I shot videos, music videos with this. Done a whole lot, you know. It's a great camera. Price range also beautiful, you know. So in all, this is a very good camera. And when I actually first bought it, I bought it because of this, bro. Like, you know, this whole LCD screen here, it kind of reminded me of the 5D. And I was like, yo, I can't afford the 5D right now, but it has this, I'm getting it. So yeah, you can easily monitor your battery life, your ISO, your aperture, you know, all the good stuff using this. You know, you don't have to always refer back to your screen. You can always just, when you're shooting, and then, you know, look down and make sure your settings are great. So, you know, it has that. And for a DSLR body like this, that's, you know, that's a luxury. And oh, for my vloggers, it has the flip out screen, you know, so you can flip it out, you know, and it's gonna start shooting with it, you know, do all kinds of nice stuff with the flip out screen for shooting music videos, you know, and you're trying to get a low angle, kind of like tilt it down and look at it, you know, taking selfies. I've actually done that, Joe. I've actually taken a selfie like this, you know, with this camera. You can do a whole lot, you know, with this camera, and for a good price, you know what I mean. I think the body alone right now goes for 10,000 Rand, and with the small kit lens it's 12K, you know, so it's a good price for a good camera. And I recommend this kind of camera because, number one, it'll last you a while, you know. If you're trying to start this whole YouTube thing, where you're trying to start photography and video, and you're not trying to break a budget and get the Canon EOS R, or, you know, A7 III or whatever, I feel like this is a good camera for you to get started with. It's good at photos, it's good at video. It's not the best, but again, it's a good enough camera for you to start off with. You know, you're gonna start off YouTube, you know, you can do that. It allows you to connect the mic, so, you know, you can connect your microphone here on the side. You can connect the external monitor. It has an HDMI mini, you know, so it has everything that you need, you know, to capture your video and to capture your photos, you know. So yeah, it's a very good camera, and I really recommend this camera for, you know, my fellow YouTubers and, you know, photographers, creators, whoever, you know. If you trying to get into the whole photography world and whole videography world, and you don't want to break your budget too much, get this and get a good lens on it, and you sort it. Now, this is the camera that I initially started my YouTube channel with. You know, I started off with this camera, the Canon 77D. And if you go back to my first videos, you can see that this quality coming out of this is actually great. It's good. You know, all I had on was the kit lens, which I do have on my Canon R right now, and it looks good too. So, you know, honestly, this is a very good camera, you know what I mean, for video, for photo, for anything. And if you guys don't believe me, I'm gonna switch to it right now, and then you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, this is the footage coming straight out the 77D. You know, I try to match it as much as I can to my Canon EOS RP, and yeah, on neutral, it's looking good, as you guys can see. You know, so yeah, this camera is a good camera. You know, it has Canon's dual autofocus, it has Canon's dual pixel autofocus. You know, so the autofocusing on this camera is pretty great. Please do note that I'm using a kit lens, so it's a bit loud on the focusing, but I want to show you guys how good it focuses. You know what I'm saying? Just look at this. You know, it's pretty dope. You know, can focus really good. Yeah, man, it's a good camera if you're trying to start off on a YouTube channel. You know, or you want to upgrade from like a cell phone that you've been using to shoot your videos, or if you're trying to get into photo or video, it's a good camera. What I do recommend is that you guys get the camera body and get yourself a bit more of an expensive lens. You know, what I do recommend for you guys is that you get the camera body alone and save up and get a bit more of an expensive lens on this one. As you guys can see, the kit lens is a bit loud when it comes to focusing, so I wouldn't really rely on that. But yeah, I do recommend that you guys get the body alone and then buy a bit more of an expensive lens like a Sigma 1835 or a Canon 17-40. It's a bit more expensive, and the autofocusing isn't as loud, you know, as this one. And you know, if you get this body and a good lens to it, perfect camera for YouTube videos, perfect camera for photos, and perfect camera for professional photo and video use, you know. So as you guys can see, this is a very good camera, you know, for professional and, you know, just going around shooting with your friends, family. You know, it's a very good camera at a very good price. You know, like I said, I do recommend that you get the body alone and put on a bit more of an expensive lens if you're trying to go, you know, for a bit more better quality looking look, and you know, get a good and silent autofocus, because the kit lens that does come with this is a bit loud. So that's the only thing that I can say about, you know, the kit lens that comes with it. But besides that, you know, it's a very good camera if you're trying to start off. It won't break your budget too much, and you know, you're gonna get some good looking photos and videos coming out of this camera, man. The Canon EOS 77D, I do recommend that if you're a beginner, you know, and you just want to get a good camera that's gonna last you a long while, you know, and you want us to switch up and upgrade too much, get yourself a 77D with a good camera lens on it, like the Canon 17-40 or the Sigma 1835. And man, I'm telling you, you guys will not regret buying this camera, you know what I mean. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys found this video informational, and if you guys did, please hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, I create content about creating content, you know, photography, videography, and vlogs. And if that's your kind of style, please consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed to the channel, you know what it is. I'm your boy. And before I head out of here, please do not forget to do better, be better, and create better. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.